because Armenia is a part of Russian-led organizations such as Eurasian Economic Union, like SISTO, because Armenia economically, culturally, militarily, politically, probably psychologically is so dependent from Russia, it's not possible to have Velvet Revolution. It's not possible to have democratic Armenia because Putin's Russia is so bad. Putin Russia is an authoritarian country, etc., etc. But we saw that what happened in Armenia several months before. Another myth is that because Armenia is surrounded by not friendly countries like Turkey and like Azerbaijan, it's not possible, let us say hostile, well, it's not possible to have regime change. But we see what happened in Armenia. The first thing that we should mention here, what triggered Armenia's Velvet Revolution? I think Serge Sargsyan's promise back to 2012, when he initiated the constitutional amendments, he promised Armenian nation, Armenians all over the world, that he is going to change constitution, not because he wants to be a leader of Armenia until the last day of his life, but because he wants more democratic Armenia, most prosperous Armenia. And in March, he didn't keep his promise. He appointed himself as a prime minister, and that was the trigger of the Velvet Revolution. Second point, Armenians had tired of not only Serge Sargsyan, but also Robert Kocharyan, Levon Ter-Petrosyan. As you know, we in Armenia elect one person, and we had another president. Like in 1996, Armenians not elected, they didn't elect Levon Ter-Petrosyan, but he became the president. We didn't elect Kocharyan twice, Serge Sargsyan twice, but they became president of Armenia. And in some way, Armenians are tired of the regime of Levon Ter-Petrosyan, regime of Serge Sargsyan and Robert Kocharyan. And when Armenians felt that there was a possibility to get rid of Serge Sargsyan, they took off the street of Armenia, Yerevan, and all over Armenia. For the first time of Armenia's recent history, the anti-regime, rallies were not local. We had a lot of autonomous, movement all over Armenia. There was no, one center which dictates what we should do. But everyone thought that everyone believed and felt that this is the right time to get rid of, I'm sorry to this wording, the kleptocratic regime of Serge Sargsyan. The most important thing was that everything broadcast live, and this was the new challenge, new situation for the authorities. Well, they control 90% of Armenian media, but one day they understood that no one watched TVs. No one watched TVs. All of them trying to find Radio Liberty, Azatutun, Civilnet, Factor TV, and other broadcast media, which are not under the control of the regime. Of course, in the center was Nikol Pashinyan. We should understand it was not a one-man show, but Nikol's role was crucial. And I do believe that he was probably the only person he believed that it is possible to use without any violence to have power change. Well, I think this is not the right time to discuss Karabakh issue, because you can't dance a tango alone. Now we have Azerbaijan and Azerbaijani leadership. They are not ready for any compromise. Mr. Aliyev wants everything or nothing. And in this atmosphere of war rhetoric, hatred, I don't think that it's a good time to discuss even among Armenians, this kind of issues. The Karabakh issue is the issue which I think for that issue we need referendum. We need referendum. Well, according to this constitution, which is very bad constitution, as I said, that was written, that was made for Serge Sargsyan, Nikol Pashinyan must resign the last day of his as a prime minister must be 8th of May of coming year. Before that, he should resign, and if the parliament is not going to elect new prime minister twice, at that time, according to constitution, the parliament should be dissolved. Yeah, and we would have snap elections. And because Nichols and his team has fears that the Hanrapetakan will try to use that opportunity, that is why there are some kind of concerns. That's why they are going to through referendum, via referendum, to have new constitutional changes. But again, I can't elaborate more because really it's a really complicated situation. Yeah. Well, I think that Kacharyan has no chance to come back. He is so unpopular in Armenia. Even I can say that many Armenians just hate him. It's not good to use the word hate, but if you go to the streets and ask ordinary Armenian, what you think about Robert Kacharyan, they will say that he's not a man. They hate Robert Kacharyan because of course, March 1 tragic events. Coming back to your first question, about what's about?
No, about
criticizing, yes. Well, there are a lot of criticism now in Armenia. They are criticizing Nikol Pashinyan because of Armenian-Russian relations. Republican Party and some politician experts think that he's destroying Armenian-Russian relations. I don't think so, but there are a lot of criticism. And I think that, well, you are right that the atmosphere of euphoria still there in Armenia, but in coming months the situation will change, and we'll have right to criticize. Now we can criticize Nikol Pashinyan. It will be helpful for him also, the criticism, the constructive criticism will be helpful for him, I think. What we can say now, the new government is trying to tackle, is trying to cut from his roots the corruption in Armenia. The most important thing, first of all, and we should welcome their efforts. Secondly, I think that because this new team has no connection with Soviet Union, Soviet Armenia, communist past, I think that they are open-minded, and I think they understand that in this world, in this global world, it's just a stupid thing to act like a, closed society. We have hope in Armenia, and hope is the most important thing. And people believe that we will have prosperous Armenia, we'll have honest Armenia. The second thing, as I said, the fight against corruption. What do you expect during 120 days? Miracles?
I didn't say get rid of the corruption. It's going to be there, whether it's going to be there. My plea will be lighter, but I want two positive things. Forget the corruption. Two other positive things that makes us happy, or the people in the country happy. Well,
since 2007, every day, every single day, at least 100 Armenians leave the country, emigrated from Armenia. For the first time this year, we have not only zero immigration, but plus migration. Is it good or not bad?
Good. Very good. Very good. Is it?
Well, unfortunately, since 1991, Armenian successive governments and also population, they wanted one thing: to send money to Armenia, and I'm sorry to say this, and shut up their mouths. Just send them money. We should change this situation, and this government hopefully understands that, first of all, we should use human resources of the diaspora. Now, this government needs a lot of lawyers, diplomats, well-educated persons, and we see that several of them now are in the government. So we should change the mentality of the Armenian diaspora relations. We should expect more and more human involvement in Armenia. And this cooperation between Armenian diaspora should not be a one-way, It should be two-way. So also Armenia should do something for diaspora. But on the other hand, we know that we have also a lot of money in diaspora, and we should create kind of economic situation in Armenia that diaspora Armenians invest money in Armenia. I'm not saying to help Armenia as they did during the last 25 years, to invest Armenia. And this is really important for Armenia, to invest money.
Make a profit.
Yeah, make a profit, yes.